Okay, everybody, how we doing? I love it, love it, love it. Yeah, we got a Jewish holiday this weekend, and we got some bad weather out there, but the Loyals are out there, and I love it. I want to thank you very much for making the trip, and we're going to make it worth your while today. We have tremendous talent tonight. Young lady by the name of Jackie DiMaggio is going to come out here and do a couple of songs for us. You're going to love her, I promise you. And for all intents and purposes, the show's been on such a long time. I always wonder every week, we're going to get people to show up, people not to show up. It's very difficult to come here and sit there for a while and go through all of the motions, wait till everything gets set. It's not like walking into a place, sit down, the concert starts. So you guys are in on the ground floor, so you get a chance to see how it works. So it's a good thing. It makes you part of the family. I love it. And, I see always the same faces. Every once in a while, I see a couple of new ones. And the ones that stick, I love it. I want to thank you 1,000 times. We're getting a ton of requests, and a lot of people now that are seeing the show. No longer are we just on Staten Island, but we're also broadcasting in one of the other boroughs, and it's picking up maybe another borough pretty soon. And also we're on YouTube, and YouTube we're getting hits from all over the world. So it's very interesting to see this, and people still love this music, and that's the most important thing. If I can do this much to let people see what's going on and keep their memories alive, then I feel like I did my job. So that's the way it is. I know that there's a couple of people out in the audience, some promoters, some booking agencies, and those people themselves do the same thing. They basically are putting this music in front of you at this late stage so that we can still enjoy the memories that we grew up with. And I want to say thank you, people, too. I'll thank you one at a time in a few seconds because I want to know what you got going and what kind of shows you have. Let people know so that they can come up and see you. And so for all intents and purposes, we've been through hell, we've been through COVID, we've been through just about every other thing that they could possibly come up with, and we're still here. Like Elton John says, I'm still standing, So it's a good thing. There was a disc jockey in Florida that introduced me up on stage. He was emceeing, and he said, ladies and gentlemen, now, the only still active lead singer with a #1 record from the 50s, Vito Picone and the Illigans. That was a scary thought. If I'm the only one still around, that doesn't leave much room, for anything to happen. But the bottom line was that I tried to test it and see if there was, and each one of those things eliminate another segment of the industry. Then if you break it down, still active, which I am, the #1 record, which I have, and in the 50s, which is exactly when it happened. So somebody said, yeah, but what about Jay Siegel? He's the original with the Tokens. That was 1962. And what about Dion, Teenager in Love made #1? Yeah, but that was 1960. And they just kept going one after another, and we eliminated everybody. So the fact is, the guy knew what he was doing. He said it, and I'm stuck with it now. I'm still the only still active lead singer with a #1 record from the 50s. you know, so, so maybe that's why I'm always so tired. you know, you know. But the greatest thing is that we're still doing what we love. And if you keep coming out the way you've been doing it, then that's your way of saying you still love to do what you're doing. That's a good thing. Matter of fact, this weekend we're now in you'll see it a couple of times, but then this may air 3 years, 5 years, 2 years, later. So the dates are not going to be really. But one of the things is that the end of the summer, the end of September, we're here now, and September 30th, we're going to be in Wildwood at the Italian Festival in Wildwood, New Jersey, which is only this Friday. And then the following Sunday, 2 days after that, we'll be up in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. So then we're going out on a cruise. We'll be out on going out with the Malt Shop cruise with I don't even know, Little Anthony, the Temptations, Paul Anka, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then we shoot out to another one. We'll be going out to the Caribbean. We're doing the Caribbean tours, and it's just amazing. I got a call the other day. Once again, I've been asked to go do the anniversary of the plane crash, unfortunately, for Buddy Holly, the Big Bopper, and also for Richie Valens at the Surf Ballroom in Clear Lake, Iowa. Now, we happen to have been with Buddy on the tour right before that fatal plane crash. And we did 30 days together, and then the tour split. Dion went with Buddy. Bobby Darin went down the shore, went down yeah, he went down south somewhere. I think Atlanta, Georgia, etc. We went to California, and with a couple of the acts, and not even a couple of weeks later, we saw the news, unfortunately, that they had gone in that plane crash. So they call us every year once in a while. We go down and we do that concert in honor of the three guys, and it's an experience. And it's something I'll never ever forget. I got some photos on my fan page. It's Vito Picone and the Elegance fan page. That's the entire title, Vito Picone and the Elegance fan page. You go to that, you'll see some of the photos of that particular trip. You'll see the monument. We actually went into the cornfield where the plane went down, and there's a little monument there. I don't like the way they set up that monument. I offered to pay for a monument to be built there, but for some reason they just want what's there. There's a nice one outside of the Sept ballroom, but when you go out into the cornfield where the plane actually hit, they just have a metal guitar and an inscription with three names, and it's sitting in two coffee cans, two Folger empty coffee cans filled with cement. And it just doesn't look good. It doesn't represent what it should. That's how I felt. But for some reason, that's what they want there. When you go out into the cornfield, you actually go through these big, humongous black horn rimmed glasses like Buddy Holly used to wear. That's right at the entrance to the cornfield. The cornfield, it sounds like, just take a walk and you'll be there. Trust me. It's 1,700 degrees below zero out there. It's the coldest thing I've ever experienced. And you have to walk through the cornfields that they already had cut and all the corn out of there. And all you have is pieces of the stalk sticking up like a bunch of punji sticks. You can actually, if you fall down, you'll get stabbed to death. It's unbelievable. But there is a small little path that you can get to the actual area. But the problem with that is when there's ice and snow, that's a very difficult walk. And you're walking for at least a minimal of a quarter of a mile. So you don't want to be doing that in the cold weather. We had a driver that was assigned to us, and everybody said, you're not going to be able to get out there. He says, trust me, Vito, if you want to go out there, I'll get you out there. The guy's name was Dano. And he said to me, what do you think? I said, book him, Dano. The next thing I know, he come up the next morning, 7 o'clock in the morning. He had this vehicle that was scary. We got in it. He made his way through the cornfield, and we actually had the opportunity to be at the actual site. It was an experience I will never, ever forget. So, but I'm looking forward to that again. We do that at the location, right at the Sept Ballroom, which was the last place that they worked before they went to the airport, which was only a mile or two away, and the plane didn't even last 5 miles. Came straight down into the cornfield. So it's an experience, and you get to live as long as I did, or I am. You'll be able to put together a lot of these little things that mean a lot to you, and that's one of them. It's not a good thing to remember, but it will never be able to forget Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper. Got a chance to meet their relatives. Richie's sister and myself became friends, very good friends. Jerry Lee Lewis was also there one night. We worked with him. His sister, we got a chance to meet his sister, who still performs. Matter of fact, she'll be on this next cruise. She performs, and she's as lively as Jerry Lee Lewis. It's scary. I mean, she's like a wild woman, So those are the little things that come up in the back of my head. We're looking at Frankie Avalon. Frankie Avalon is doing something with Tommy C. We had young Tommy on the show here. They got a package that they're working on. Joey M. has put that together, and we got the opportunity to see the tape as they were actually taping live from Frankie's house, his house in L.A. It's an unbelievable house. It sits on 3 acres, miles and miles and miles and miles of beautiful, beautiful terrain, shrubbery and trees and whatnot. And I told him, I looked around, he showed the camera like this, he panned the camera. I said, what, no fig trees? You know, how can you be an Italian with no fig trees in your yard, you know? But, you know, it's all those little things like that. We've become friends. Dion and I are still in contact with each other on a regular basis. Things that happened 65 years ago built a relationship that's lasted this long. And it's something that I cherish it. I really, really believe it. And the good Lord makes me keep doing it. I'll keep doing it until there's nobody sitting in the seats. When we can't sell 2 more tickets, then I'll pack it in. But right now, we're still doing well, and I'm really happy for it. So if we have a couple of people out there that are presenting these type of things, and they'll tell you how they put seats in how they put people in the seats, okay? And let's see, anybody out there got any shows going that we can talk about?
Vito, I'm going to start off tonight, Vito,
Yeah.
because I got exciting news. You talked about the show being on YouTube. Community media is now live streaming all of the shows. So this show you could see anytime, anywhere in the world. And it's very easy. All you have to do is on your phone or your tablet or whatever, go to the App Store or Google Play, one of them, and you download the Community Media app. And on the app, when you download it, you'll see the 4 channels that they have. We are on the Variety channel. You just scroll along on the Variety channel, and the show, you'll see the show. You tap it, and it starts playing. And right now, there are 4 shows. The last 4 shows are up. This will be the 5th show. Also, on the, I think they call it the Civic Engagement Channel, is your South Beach concert from last August. You could pick that up, you could play it, and this is going to go on. You can play this anytime, a year from now, 2 years from now.
Good.
You could also go to Community Media's website. That's communitymediasi.org. And when you go on it, you'll click on Watch. Again, the 4 channels will come up, and you can just scroll along, like I say, on the entertainment channel, or the variety channel, rather, this is called, and you'll pick up the show, or any show that's on, I call it CTV, but community media. And so we don't have to depend on YouTube anymore, who, I don't know if you saw the last show on Facebook, but they muted 5 songs out of the 8 that we played. They even muted your Goodnight song, which is your song, and it was muted for copyright issues. So that's what we're facing, but we won't have that problem with the live streaming.
Beautiful.
And so you can watch it, and you can even watch it on your smart TV. If you have a smart TV, you go through Google or Amazon or one of them, and you can pick it up, and you can watch it on your TV.
Beautiful. Beautiful. That's good to know.
Okay? And now, Carl, you want to talk?
Hey Vito, how you doing? Just wanted to let everybody know I'm actually doing another show on November 19th at Lobster House Joe's out here on Staten Island on Arthur Kill Avenue from 12 to 3. Great food and drinks, and I'm actually going to be singing with Ed Gaudio, who's going to be sharing the show with me. Ed Gaudio, if people don't know who he is, was the lead singer of the first Johnny Maestro tribute band. You close your eyes, pretty close to sounding like Johnny Maestro. I mean, nobody's Johnny Maestro, but Ed Gaudio is pretty close. So it's November 19th, 12 to 3, Lobster House Joe's on Arthur Kill out here in Staten Island. And thank you.
Thank you, Vito, for letting me speak. And I just want to say, finally, after a year of planning, my Tunnel to Towers benefit happened last Friday at Z2, and I am more than grateful and overwhelmed by the support that I had. People, especially the people from Staten Island Group Harmony Club that showed up and supported it. It was an amazing night. Jack Ohm from Tunnel to Towers, he's a retired fire chief battalion chief commander. I'm saying that all wrong, I'm nervous. He was my guest speaker, and he was amazing, and I was honored that he came, especially since the run was on Sunday, so he was able to be there Friday. Vinnie Polomini was amazing. putting everything together for me. He sang. It was just, it was a great night. Just Friends was there, and they also supported and sang, and they're terrific. And I'll give a little plug. I'm going to have them also at Z2 on November, I believe, the 17th. They're going to be singing, but I think there were so many people that were there on Friday night. I ended up raising $4,028 for Tunnel to Towers. So I'm going to do it again next year, and I'm just really thrilled. All the people in Staten Island, I'm not a Staten Islander. I can't tell you how grateful I am for everybody's support here. You're all amazing and wonderful, and I love all you guys. And also, just one other plug, at Reggiano's on October 13th, Robbie Schumacher, who sings with Sky's the Limit, he's going to be performing at Reggiano's on that date, and he's great. He actually sang America the Beautiful for me at the show.
Wow.
So it was wonderful. That's all I could say is I am beyond thrilled.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I can remember now. How you doing, Vito?
All right, Jim.
We went to the PNC. We see Tony Orlando. His last show, he's retiring. He says he can't run the bases anymore. He did a fantastic show. It was great. We seen another show the following week was the Happenings, the Coasters. I can't remember who was there. It was like 10 groups there. But another great show. There's a great show going to be tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 by Al Simone with Richie Santa. You're going to have the Coasters. Was it the Coasters? Huh? Yeah. Oh, the Comets, right. Bill Haley's Comets. Bill Haley Jr. and the Comets. And Frank Pizarro. Everybody knows Frank Pizarro. He sang with the Platters. Going to be a great show if anybody can make it. If you don't have tickets, don't worry. Just come. They'll let you in. Just tell them you left tickets home. They'll let you in. All right? It's going to be a great show, so I hope to see you there. I'll be there. Rain or shine, it's open. Oh, we had a show at the Roadhouse. We had Just Friends was there. Did a great job. That was another good show yesterday. And she forgot to mention Tommy Stiganovsky. He was at the show with his wife at her show. He did a fantastic job. The guy is magnificent. Him and his wife did some job. I guess that's it.
By the way, that concert is free at the PNC Arts Center. Like Jimmy said, you actually show up. If you don't have tickets, it's not a problem. You'll be able to get in. It is rain or shine because if you've been at what PNC is the old Garden State Arts Center. They've got a big shell in there, so at least 5,000 people will be will be protected from the weather. So, and basically it's a great theater. It's a great venue. So that's a good thing. Very good, very good. All right, is that it? All right. So why don't we get down to the usual business here? We have some dancers out there, Sal.
Yeah, we got some dancers.
We do. Well, let's see what we got first. I know one of the songs is going to be a familiar song that we just mentioned, but let's open up with we're talking about Bill Haley and the Comets. Bill Haley Jr. is going to be at that PNC Arts Center tomorrow, right? Is it tomorrow? Yeah, the 26th. So this is Bill Haley Jr.'s father would see you later, alligator. So that'll be our first song. So let's get that on the way. Let's get some dancers out here.
Well,
Dave,
I saw my baby walking with another man today. Well, I saw my baby walking with another man today. When I asked her what's the matter, this is what I heard her say. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Can't you see you're in my way now? she told me.
Oh, we're getting fancy now. Look at this. We're getting fancy.
What she told me nearly made me lose my head.
I'll be doing any splits now.
But the next time that I saw her, reminded her of what she said. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. See
Oh,
you
yeah.
later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Can't you see you're in my way now?
Just stick around for the second song, too, if you don't mind.
She said, I'm sorry, pretty daddy. You know my love is just for you. She said, I'm sorry, pretty daddy. You know my love is just for you. Won't you say that you'll forgive me and say your love for me is true? I said, wait a minute, gator. I know you mean it just for play. I said, wait a minute, gator. I know you mean it just for play. Don't you know you really hurt me? And this is what I have to say. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. Can't you see you're in my way now? Don't you know you cramp my style? See you later, alligator. After a while, crocodile. See you later, alligator. So long. That's all. Goodbye.
Deep down in Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way back up in the woods among the evergreens, there stood a log cabin made of earth and wood, where lived a country boy named Johnny B. Good, who never ever learned to read or write so well, but he could play a guitar just like a ringing a bell. Go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, go. Johnny be good. He used to carry his guitar in a gunny sack, go sit beneath the tree by the railroad track, gold engine, everything sitting in the shade, strumming with the rhythm that the drivers made. When people passing by, they would stop and say, oh my, but that little country boy could play. Go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, 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 Johnny, go, go. Go, Johnny, go, go. Johnny be good. His mother told him someday you will be a man, and you will be the leader of a big old band. Many people coming from miles around to hear you play your music when the sun go down. Maybe someday your name will be in lights saying, Johnny be good tonight. Go, 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 Johnny, go. 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 Go. Johnny be good.
That's it. All right. Another job well done, Rockettes. The Rockettes, ladies and gentlemen. Give them a big round of applause. Ay, ay, ay. Okay. As I mentioned a little earlier, it's going to bring up a young lady now that'll probably give you a great treat because I've heard her many, many times, and I definitely tell you that you will totally be entertained. And if we can get her up here right now, ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause, Jackie DiMaggio. How about it? It's all yours, Jack.
Thank you so much. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I hope we have some Connie Francis fans tonight because that's what I'll be doing. I do a lot of tributes, and she's one of my favorites to do. So I'm going to do Connie Francis for you all. A smiling face, a warm embrace, 2 arms to hold me tenderly. Where the boys are, my true love will be. He's walking down some street in town, and I know he's looking there for me. In the crowd of a million people, I'll find my Valentine, and then I'll climb to the highest steeple and tell the world he's mine till he holds me. I wait impatiently, 'cause where the boys are, where the boys are, where the boys are, someone waits for me. Till he holds me, I wait impatiently, 'cause where the boys are, where the boys are, where the boys are, someone waits for me. Thank you so much. Thank you. This is a little bit of a fun song. I really enjoy performing this song by Connie. Has anybody been shot with the arrow from Cupid lately? Sometimes it's horrible. Sometimes it's not so horrible. This is a fun song to do. Stupid Cupid, you're a real mean guy. I'd like to clip your wings so you can't fly. I'm in love and it's a crying shame, and I know that you're the one to blame. So hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. I can't do my homework and I can't think straight. I meet him every morning about 8:30. I'm acting like a lovesick fool. He's even got me carrying his books to school. Hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. You mixed me up for good right from the very start. So hey, go play Robin Hood with somebody else's heart. You got me jumping like a crazy clown, and I don't feature what you putting down. Since I kissed those loving lips of wine, stop picking on me. You got me jumping like a crazy clown, and I don't feature what you putting down. Since I kissed those loving lips of wine, the thing that bothers me is that I like it fine. Hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. So hey, hey, set me free. Stupid Cupid, stop picking on me. Pick on somebody else. Not me, Cupid. Thank you so much. I always like to do that song. It's a fun one. I'll say about this next song I'm going to do. This song is half in Italian, half in English. If you don't understand Italian, I always like to do songs that people can understand. But I do this because it's a very special song to me. My grandfather taught me this when I was about 3 years old. He always used to play Connie Francis for me, and we've always been very proud of our Italian heritage, so I like to do this song particularly for that reason. Del bene più prezioso ci sei tu, al di là del sogno più ambizioso ci sei tu, al di là delle cose più belle, al di là delle stelle ci sei tu, al di là ci sei tu per me, soltanto per me. Al di là means you are far above me, very far. And every star will light the way above me to where you are. Just to measure your worth, I'd move heaven and earth to be near you. You're my life, you're my love, you're my own. Al di là, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la 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 la, la di da da. Al di là delle volte infinita, al di là della vita, ci sei tu, al di là ci sei tu per me. La 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 la, la 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 la, la di da da. Al di là. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Well, this will be my last song for the evening. This is a
one that really is a heartbreaker sometimes to some people. I want to tell a little story about why I like to sing this song so much. My mom was sick about 10 years ago. She wasn't expected to make it, and everybody knows a mom is such a special person. She can never be replaced by anybody. Well, my mom had a near-death experience, and I always sing this song because she loved it. She loved it. She always loved it. My grandfather loved it, but my mom is so special to me, and for going through what she went through, she was a miracle, and she couldn't be here tonight, but I know she's listening, and I'm going to dedicate this song to my mom because she's still here, and I thank God every day for it. This is called Mama.
When the evening shadows fall and the lovely day is through, then with longing I recall the years I spent with you. Mama, solo per te la mia canzone vola. Mamma, sarai con me, tu non sarai più sola. Quanto ti voglio bene, queste parole d'amore che ti sospiri il mio cuore, forse non si usano più. Ma la canzone mia più bella sei tu. Sei tu la vita, e per la vita non ti lascio mai più.
I'm going to dedicate this song to all the mothers who can't be with us, who aren't here, who are looking down at us from above, and also all the moms here in the audience today. A mother is just such a special person, and she can never be replaced. I love you, Mom. I know you're listening.
Safe in the glow of your love, she sent from the heavens above. Nothing can ever replace the warmth of her tender embrace. Oh, Mama, until the day when we're together once more, I live in these memories until that day when we're together once more.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Thank you.
How about give another round of applause?
Thank you so much.
All right. I just wanted to, I was trying to catch your eye. They were probably waiting for you to name the song before they actually started to play it.
Oh,
So, we knew what you were doing,
okay.
but apparently there was that little lapse in there, so it wasn't your fault. I just
Oh,
wanted to let you
no,
know.
it's okay.
That's good.
I
Anyway.
could do it a cappella. I mean, I could have just started singing.
Yeah, that's okay. That's all right. That's all right. Well, that's the professional.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, no relation to the DiMaggios from the Bronx, from Yankee Stadium. Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah, or could be. You never
Could
know. Right?
be.
You can check. Well, now that we're streaming, maybe the DiMaggio family out there will see it and say, "Agogina, honey."
Well, that's my dream, to get to Yankee Stadium with that last name. I mean, you know.
Oh wow. There's a couple of friends of mine that are involved in that Yankee Stadium thing.
Oh, well, maybe
the-
you could get me there,
I
Vito.
was going to say maybe that might be the hook.
Yeah.
Let me find out. We'll see what we can do. You never know. You never know. They're always looking for something different, and that would be perfect. The name DiMaggio, that
Right.
doesn't get you into the Yankee Stadium, and never going to get it with Duke Snyder. You know, that's for sure. Anyway, give me a little bio on yourself. I know that where you're from, and et cetera, et cetera.
Born and raised in Pelham, New York. I'm currently in the Bronx right now. I've been singing since I'm about 3 years old. I started in church. That was my first audience. I have to say my family was my first audience, but singing in front of a congregation was a little nerve-wracking at 3, but I was very bold, and I got up there and I sang, and then I've just been doing it ever since. In high school, I was in all of the plays. I was the lead singer of the band. And then I started professionally probably around the age 16.
Wow.
And met my wonderful manager, Basil Champy, who is sitting in the audience today. He really ventured out and did a lot of things for me. And I have to say that I really took to loving the oldies music. I do a lot of, contemporary songs of today, but I really love the oldies. I grew up around listening to it. My dad was a big Frank Sinatra fan. My grandfather, as I mentioned, loved Connie Francis. I think that that's when music was really music. And I think that everybody could agree with me there.
You know what's going to happen? We've had this discussion a couple of times. What you grew up with is your music, and it'll be your music till the day you die. And 30 years from now, somebody's going to say, rap music is the greatest music in the world, and it's, and it's the only music, et cetera, et cetera. That's all they really knew. That's what they grew up with.
Right.
Their memories are in that era.
Absolutely.
My mind is pretty well broad when it comes to, to music. If you ever went to my record collection, or CD collection, or anything else that ages me, but the thing is that you'll find anything from gospel, to country western, to 50s, to jazz.
Oh, yes.
So I just love music, But
So
the
do
bottom
I.
line is you have to lock into the only way you're going to be able to sing from your heart is what you love to sing.
Absolutely.
And you just killed them with Connie
Oh,
Francis.
thank you.
Yeah, didn't she do a great job?
I hate to leave off with such a sad song, but
No.
I know a lot of people like to hear that song.
Well,
if I don't do it, then I'm always asked to do it. So.
It's not a sad song when it brings back fond memories.
Absolutely.
And there isn't a person that doesn't have good memories of their mama. So if you can, for that minute while you're saying, 3 minutes while you're doing that, I could tell you there wasn't a person out there that's not thinking about their mothers.
Yes.
So you brought some joy to them right now too. So don't ever feel that way. It's not a sad song. It really is. It's a good memory for the people that are listening to it.
It's a great way to look at it.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I know that we have a lot of mutual friends, and we keep running into people that they always tell me to say, "Wait till you hear Jackie DiMaggio. You got to hear Jackie DiMaggio. You got to, So there's a lot of good press out there for you, and it's respected because you're giving them exactly what they're talking about. When I heard it, I knew exactly that they would never lead me in a direction that would put me in an embarrassing situation
Oh.
by putting somebody on a television
Well,
show.
I heard an awful lot of good things about you too,
Well,
Vito.
I don't know.
So
It depends
you
on who
know.
you talk to, I guess. But that's a good thing, though, and we got to
Thank
work
you.
together. Matter of fact, you're working for a friend of mine. I think you're going to be here. This is yours, matter of fact. This will be easier for you to mention, but you're going to be in Manahawkin, New Jersey.
Yes.
And you'll be at the Stafford Township
On
Arts Center.
October 8th, yep.
And that's
And-
a very good friend of mine, Gary Fuchs, puts those shows together.
Yes, I'll be with the Coda Band, and that's on October 8th at the Stafford Township's Art Center. On October 9th, I was actually, I have the honor to sing one of the songs that I sing tonight, Al Di La. I'll be
yeah.
singing at the Columbus Day Parade in New York City.
Beautiful.
So you could see me on TV.
Absolutely.
That's very exciting for me.
Of course it is. Of course.
And on October 27th, I'll be doing an Elvis and Connie night in Pelham, New York, at the Rail House with a good friend of mine, Jean DiNapoli.
Okay.
And on December 9th, we're doing an oldies show in White Plains at Stepanak High School. Nikki Charmella runs that, a good friend also. I've been working with him for a long time.
Sure.
And I'll be doing the Connie Francis tribute.
Oh, you're in
So
good company. I mean,
I might throw in a Christmas song here and there. But
beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Excellent company. I know Nikki a long time, Nikki Charmella, with Stepanak, and also, I told you, Gary Fuchs was doing the one. Gary and I did many, many things together in the last 30 years, maybe.
Wow.
And you mentioned Gene DiNapoli.
Yes.
And we're going to be with Gene Sunday. We'll be with him in Sellersville, Pennsylvania. So
We all know the same people.
I'm telling you, it depends on where you're going. And unfortunately, we do, and not that it's unfortunate that we know this particular person, but we knew him very well, and we just lost Larry Chance.
Yes.
Larry being a very, very close friend of mine, for 50 years at least, maybe more. And you know, I watched him right down the stretch, and it was inevitable. And when the time came, it still couldn't help it. It was a horrible situation. We lost Larry only about a week ago.
Yeah.
I think it was something, a week to 10 days ago, maybe.
It was a heartbreak.
Oh my God. So, you know, anybody that ever saw Larry sing, you know, you're talking about one of the best.
One of the highlights of my career was when he brought me up on stage and he let me sing I Believe with him.
Yeah.
And he's never done that with anybody.
Yeah.
And because we were so close and, you know,
Yeah.
he just was like, Jackie, you want to do? I was like, of course I would love to do this. Like, you've been asking me this question. And that was like definitely one of the most highlighted moments of
Amazing.
my career so far. So
I would talk to him almost once a week, and you know, when we weren't working together, you know, I used to call him Lawrence, Sir Lawrence. I tell him, Sir Lawrence, you there? Yeah, Turkey, it's me. He used to call me Turkey. So, you know, and then we get into it. You got any new jokes? He always wanted to see new material. I said, as long as you don't use them on stage, because I do. You know, don't use my material.
Oh, yeah.
You know? So he'd say, all right. And then I catch him on YouTube, you know, using my stuff. I said, listen, I caught you. He said, all right, how much do I owe you? You know,
Oh, that's so
But nah,
funny.
we had a great relationship, and you know, I'm really sad about it. They're having a mass in Florida because he just left right before his passing. He moved to Florida. He'll be doing something there, and of course, his New York friends and fans are not going to be going to Florida. So they're going to have a service here. There's no date set for it yet, but there will be a service for him. So I know we'll be there. That's for damn sure.
I will be
So,
there.
Definitely. So on a much more pleasant note, I should say, the fact that you've been doing this since you're 3 years old, and then 16 years old. 16 years old sounds strange to people. Now, how can you be professionally working 16?
Well, I
I-
could tell you. I mean, I started off small, like everybody does, you know. I did a lot of restaurants. I did a lot of car shows in my area, outdoor festivals, Italian festivals. I started small, but I never will forget where I came from.
Atta girl.
I always go back. I always go back because it's just special too. And like the crowd has known me for so long. I mean, I just did a show in Pelham, and that's where I grew up. They give me the last summer concert in Pelham every year, and it's so special to see like my old teachers,
Neighbors.
my neighbors, some of my old friends from school have kids now. It's just so special.
That's
So you can't forget where you come from.
you just that phrase right there is classic. I just had that conversation. Matter of fact, I was talking to a friend of mine, it's Joey M. You know, who's got a restaurant in Wildwood. Matter of fact, I'll introduce you to him. He'll do some things out there for me. He does some nice stuff out that way. And Joey said, you know, he was with Frankie Avalon, and one of the things that they were talking about, and he said, what's your proudest moment? And then he asked me the same question. He said, what are you happy when people tell you something about your whole career. What are you always the happiest when you hear? I'm always happy to hear the fact I never forgot where I came from. You know, like Jennifer Lopez was J-Lo from the Bronx, you know, from the block,
Yes,
from
yes.
the block. You know, well, I'm Vito from the beach. You know, that's it. I come from South Beach, Staten Island, and I got salt water in my veins, and you're never going to change that. You know, so
Yes.
still play softball with the guys that in the neighborhood once a year, and you know, I've got friends that are like my family since day one, and I'll never forget that. That's the key to being happy, when you never leave the good part
And
of your life.
humble.
Absolutely.
And humble.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'm a very humble person.
Oh.
You know, I've always been very humble, and I love the connection with my crowd. I love meeting people after my performance. I love what they tell me, the feedback that I get from that. Like, that's more to me than anything.
Absolutely.
If I could touch somebody, even if it's just one person in the crowd,
Yeah.
it makes my night.
And they won't forget. They'll remember that for the rest of their lives. And that's a good thing. You know, I hear stories all the time. You know, Vito, with this one time that blah, 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 blah. And I don't remember that particular instance, but it meant something to them that lasted their whole life.
Yep.
So, you know, you just keep doing what you're doing. If I had 6 hours, I could tell you 6 hours worth of stories that, you know, that people have told me over the past. I just got one yesterday on the internet, which, you know, and it came from Dennis Yost's wife. And Dennis Yost was probably one of the best vocalists that I've ever heard. You know, when he first came out with he had 3 or 4 hits, you know, and I was telling his wife, I said, there's so many beautiful singers out there, but Dennis was absolutely one of the top 3, you know, and she said, I can't believe how humble you were when you were telling me the story about my husband, because he had passed, you know, and I tell the truth, you know. You may
Yes.
not like what I tell you, but I'm always going to tell you the truth.
Right.
And I believe that, and I live by that. That's why I had
The
that
truth
article.
shall set you free.
That's why I put that article on Facebook that you were talking about earlier.
Oh, yes.
You know, and I said, if you don't like it, you know, I
Who
can
cares?
I can delete
It's-
you.
right.
That's why they made a delete button.
Absolutely,
you know,
and I'm
but-
glad that you put that out there
Oh
because
God,
that was
I got more compliments from that. And I didn't do it to be complimented.
no.
It just
You
reached
did it
a-
because it was right.
That's exactly the reason. I just saw things happening that have been building and building inside of me, and I just had to explode. And I'm hearing that from everybody else. You said exactly what we've been thinking, and over, I think it was over about 1,100 or 1,200, you know, people had posted on that. So I'm very happy that I did it in the long run. But I was a little, you know, a little reluctant in the beginning. But
Right.
that was my feelings. Take it or leave it, you know. So that's that. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say once again, not only is she beautiful, she's got a beautiful, beautiful voice. And now all you could say the same thing when you reach out to people. When you hear Jackie DiMaggio, she's got a beautiful personality, beautiful girl, beautiful songs, beautiful voice. Anytime you see her, you have to go out and support her.
Thank
Tell her you've seen her here on the show, okay? Give them a round of applause, please, everybody.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
And I want to thank you for making it possible.
Well, thank you for having
Oh,
me. It was
God,
a
I'm
pleasure.
glad. You're welcome to come back anytime you want, especially now that we're streaming. You know, let's see if some of your relatives in Italy will be seeing this.
Yeah,
stuff,
right.
You know, so that's good. And, you know, also I want to thank, of course, we always like to thank you people out there for making it possible, especially today with this weather and the Jewish holiday. I'm glad that you came. I also want to thank Ciro's Pizzeria, which gives the thin crust pizza, one of the best pizzas on Staten Island. You don't get filled, you know, no filling. It just, you wind up saying, well, I'll only have one slice. I'll only have one box, you know, that's it. You know, and also, we also have the donuts out there from Country Donuts. Every day, always there. Eddie Murray, they're always out there for us. And they're out on Arthur Kill and Richmond Avenue, constantly there for us. And folks, thank you so much for listening. Always, it's always a pleasure. We're going to do this as long as God wants us. We'll be doing this. Thank you on behalf of both of us. Thank you for making tonight possible. Grateful, buddy. Thank you. Okay. And don't forget streaming. Don't forget the information that you picked up from Sal before. Check it out. We will be streaming, and that's I'll be streaming. Da, 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 da. Okay, let's give us a little round of our finale music. There's a song that I recorded. It was a flip side of one of my songs. A lot of radio stations all over the country close their radio show with this song.
Whoa, whoa, good night.